Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. Today we are discussing a just launched 2025 model year limited edition of 10 pieces in grade 5 titanium. From Bethune, this is the DB28XP steel wheels Tourbillon. Let's unpack all of that. The DB28 is a model line that came out in 2010 and in 2011 won the GPHG Aiguille for the best watch of the year at the Oscars of watchmaking. Now in 2018, the steel wheels version came out, which features skeletonized barrels and a skeletonized barrel bridge. The steel wheels Tourbillon launched in 2020. That same year, the thinner DB28XP launched. So fast forward to the end of 2024, I'm in Hong Kong, and we launched this watch in late 2024 for the 2025 model year. Now we have a DB28XP steel wheels Tourbillon. Everything has come together. So what makes it an XP? It's thinner. You can see right away, 10.5 millimeters thick. It's still 43 millimeters in diameter, but I've actually got the original steel wheels Tourbillon to show you. And I guess crystal to crystal is probably a great way to make this comparison. Can't damage anything, and you can see that the older watch is quite a bit thicker. Now the newer watch to the right, that watch is 10.5 millimeters thick. The older watch to the left, that watch is still very credible, but slightly thicker, 11.6 millimeters. So not a huge difference here, but the XP is thinner. I'll also mention that the case is different. You can see here we have engraving on the case flank, and that there's a sort of undulation where it grows broader in the middle and it thins out as the bezel expands at 6 and 12, whereas you can see in the original case, it's a lot more like a standard DB28. So this is a little bit different. So the case is the big difference maker, but we also have elements on the dial that change things. The original steel wheels Tourbillon featured sapphire elements, whereas here we have blued titanium with microlight engraving. So thank you so much, previous DB28 steel wheels Tourbillon. The XP can take it from here. 43 millimeters in diameter, 10.5 thick, floating lugs. These are variable geometry. At full compression, it's 50.8 millimeters lug to lug. At full extension, it's 54.1, and there's a 26 millimeter spacing between the lugs. All in sapphire and titanium. This is a very, very light watch. So despite its large footprint, it is actually quite light. And you can see how it'll easily fit underneath a dress cuff if you wanted to. You can also see the extraordinary amount of mirror polish within and without the watch. It is an explosion of reflections and light on the wrist, really dynamic. I would recommend this for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. Mine's 16. The strap, as you see right here, is synthetic. That's mostly because of CITES treaties, and CITES treaties or CITES treaties, depending on how you pronounce it, make it difficult to ship alligator around the world. So we will fit this to the leather strap of your choice when you take delivery, or you can get us to throw in a leather strap and we'll keep this on the watch if you just want durability and longevity. This is all synthetic, but what you should know is that it's made the same way the OEM straps are made in leather, cut and sewn by hand at Jean Rousseau in Paris for Debethune. Jean Rousseau is the OEM strap supplier for Debethune, FP Journe, and many others. Buckles at Debethune often mirror the watch on which they are fitted. So we have this buckle style that closely mirrors the design of the spring-loaded floating lugs. Now the spring-loaded ergonomic system is patented. It's one of several patents protecting this watch. Taking a look at the crown profile here, I should mention it is still a screw-down crown, very different from the previous steel wheels Tourbillon. You can see not only is the case different on the older watch, but so is the crown design. So I just wanted to make sure I recognize that. You can also see that the case is a monoblock, which means everything loads through the back. There's actually no seam between the case and the bezel, which creates a pleasing aesthetic. Taking a look at the case, you can see it's all grade 5 titanium, which is wonderful stuff because it is lighter than steel and hypoallergenic. Not all steels are, but this is also more scratch resistant than both conventional watchmaking steels and grade 2 titanium. I've also found that polished grade 5 is the type of metal case finish, short of some sort of hard metal or tegament or ice hardening. This is the type that usually resists scratches and marks the best. On the dial, as mentioned, we do have an awful lot of mirror polished steel. So everything here that is black polished is diamond paste polished steel. You can even see that the little cap atop the base plate features extreme extravagant and broad mirrored bevels on its edges where it cuts out around the drivetrain, the intermediate wheels, and the barrels. So this is an example of what poly noir or black polish is. When I talk about black polish, I mean a type of optically smooth finish that is so perfect that at certain angles it turns black. Now you can see exactly what I mean by that. Now, 2 mainspring barrels manually wound. First thing to note, no matter how fast you wind, you cannot crash through the mainspring and damage the watch. They will release the pressure. There's a safeguard to these self-adjusting barrels, which are patented, so you cannot overwind it. Now, in spite of the power-intensive tourbillon, this is still a 5-day power reserve. And on the back, you can see, amid multiple flourishes of finish, color, texture, and tone, we do have a little index that indicates how many of the 5 days remain. Flip it back over. I should mention this watch is 30 meters water resistant, but it's a rather serious 30 meters due to the screw-down crown. We have the tourbillon, which is the world's lightest. I'm going to move the minute hand out of the way so it doesn't block your view here. All right. That's that. Now, this tourbillon is special for a number of reasons. First, at debethune, tourbillon wristwatches have to earn their keep, which means they have to be better timekeepers than standard escapements. Not every tourbillon watch from other brands is like that, but at debethune, these gain between 1/2 and 1 second per day. Now, the other thing you can see is that it is a manic tourbillon. Its period is 30 seconds. So you can see 30 seconds. It makes 1 full rotation every 30 seconds, twice the speed of a regular tourbillon. Also, 36,000 vibrations per hour or 10 beats per second like a Zenithal Primero, so it is a faster escapement. The tourbillon carriage is made of 63 parts, the lightest of which is 1/10,000th of a gram. It's made of blued titanium. You could see the silicon escape wheel and white gold masses. So those 63 parts in combination make this the lightest tourbillon in the world at only 18/100ths of 1 gram. That's 0.18. You can see the patented tourbillon design includes the patented balance, the 2016 patent balance with blued titanium wheel and white gold masses, as well as debethune's patented asymmetrical curved hairspring that breathes concentrically like an overcoil but is flat like a flat hairspring. So you have quite a bit of patents protecting the technologies in this watch. You can also see that the bridge over the barrels, it features satination on its side, but then it features a broad mirrored bevel, as broad and fine as anything that you would see at Romain Gaultier or Laurent Ferrier. Taking a close look at the ratchet wheel, you can see the ratchet wheel over this barrel features micro-beveled teeth, which is extraordinary attention to detail. We have polished cabochon acting those little titanium orbs as the hour markers, and you can see there's a serrated titanium minutes track inboard of that. Dial depth is excellent, as you can see from every angle, and no item is left unfinished. Because of the open barrel, you can see both of the, quote, steel wheels, but if you look underneath the blue titanium microlight cut caps, you can actually see that the barrel covers are also solarized. So there's a lot of attention to detail going into this watch. If you love this watch, there is a lot to love. Keep in mind that this piece is one of only 10 that will be made, and once made, there will be none other like them. It's a 40 jewel movement, exceptionally decorated like none other. You could see that at 30 millimeters, it's properly sized to fit this large case. And at debethune, dials, movements, cases, even hairspring curves and balance wheels are fabricated in-house. So you're paying for the technology and the fabrication, not to buy sports cars for the owner of the brand. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability details.